Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me go ahead and put my headphone on so I know that we're not overdoing it.
Right.
Check
Hello.
1 2. Check
Mic
1
check.
2. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello, everyone in the streaming world. My name's Jose. We're going to go start our podcast in a minute here, but please welcome our two guests here, Derek and I'm so sorry, Darren and Derek here. We're gonna get started here in a minute, but we just wanted to say, go ahead and keep asking questions in the comment chat section. We'll get to it in a minute. But yeah, let's have some fun, guys. I'm gonna hit record here in a minute, and we'll get started. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fighting Arizona podcast. I'm your host, Jose. As always, we bring in special guests every week, and today is no different, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from just like down the street. You just finished up, ladies and gentlemen. The AZ Cannabis Chef.
Hello.
Please welcome Chef Derek Upton.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I want to get into, but I also want to get into the gentleman to your left here.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Darren introduce himself and his business, because it is a very important business here in the Valley. Let's not sugarcoat it here.
Exactly.
Right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Darren, and I am a part owner in the Clarendon Hotel and Spa, which is just around the corner from here.
Yes.
Which, of course, has been in business for a very long time. We bought the hotel back in January of 2019, so it's been an interesting ride up until this point. So,
I just want to say thank you to both of you for having the time to just come in here and just explain what we're about to talk about. And just, again, it takes a lot of what I like to call cojones to come in here for not only to introduce yourself to an entire audience, but on top of that to talk about what we're talking about, which is cannabis today.
Yes.
And it's a new subject here in Arizona, just because the prop passed this year, or was the year before?
January 1st of this year, Prop 207 passed.
Yeah.
And allowed anyone over the age of 21 to consume and hold cannabis on their person within legal limits. So.
Yeah. And we're all about education here, and that's one of the things that I always want to promote and just kind of put that forward, put that foot first forward. Is here we love educating about that cannabis culture and just kind of introducing it, because again, I don't know anything. I'm just a Joe Schmo, and I love just reaching out and getting to know different opportunities, different cultures, different everything. So, Derek, I first want to get to you, and then we'll move over to Darren over here and the questioning. I typically ask everyone this question, and I'm getting back to the routine of it, is, can you give us a little bit of your origin story and how all of this came to be?
Yeah, so honestly, cannabis started for me many years ago. I was a professional studio drummer.
Nice.
In the music industry. I worked for Warner Brothers and Capitol Records for a while.
Okay.
And I was always cooking, though. Portuguese Italian family, you know what I mean? So I cooked since I was a little kid. Everybody in the kitchen, everyone, talking and laughing and cooking, and I could still like close my eyes and see it and smell it and feel it. You know what I mean? So that's always been my love of cooking, my love of bringing people together over food. So cannabis came into my life actually when I made, it's been in my life recreationally, but on the wellness side of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And actually it was born out of necessity in my life. I went through a horrible period of clinical depression and anxieties and other things that I was dealing with, but I was also on a ton of medication for.
Yeah.
And those pills were causing a lot of issues for me. They were fixing one problem to create others for me.
Yeah.
And I got in a desperate situation where I needed to find a solution for myself.
Absolutely.
And what I did was I forced myself to go back to therapy. I started fixing those issues face first and head on, while using cannabis as a daily coping mechanism to just calm my nerves, to sleep.
Gotcha.
So while I created positive habits in my life, and that really led me to want to understand the plants, the wellness of the plants, and understand why it helps me more than the man-made medications I was taking.
For sure.
And so I went and talked to cultivators and lab technicians that were friends of mine in the space, and I just started learning and consuming and just getting all the knowledge that I possibly could on why the plant was helping. And and that led me into the history and that, we've been using cannabis for, well over 10,000 years in human history, you know what I mean? So it opened my mind to this whole world that I felt at the time, this is 10 years ago, like this was real illegal. I was doing stuff when I could have went to prison for it,
Yeah.
And but I knew that there was something more, because if it was helping me, I knew that there was people out there that needed this,
for sure,
that wanted something holistically, that wasn't another pill to put down their throat. And so that really led me into wanting to cook with cannabis. It led me into wanting to take the approach of wellness, because I believe that there's a huge part that we're missing with cannabis.
For sure.
And I want to take it out of stoner culture.
Yeah.
And I want to bring it into the modern day, because I'm cannabis culture, not stoner culture. I believe in the wellness of the plant. It's not about getting high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, that's a side effect. But when you're doing it within limits and for the reasons, it changes how you feel about the plants. And I feel like normalizing.
It's a window or a doorway into every person's
food
life.
Transcends everything. It transcends language and religions and cultural differences and places on the map. Like, everybody has to eat and everybody understands the language of food.
Yeah.
And so for me, it made sense that cannabis was a part of that.
For sure.
The wellness, because I consider myself farm to table cannabis.
Okay.
I want to be the Food Network version of cannabis, but from a holistic side of healthy eating and really good ingredients and pulling from local sources. And so that is what caught me. It was that it affected me and changed my life so much.
Yeah.
And it still is. I'm still on that path, but I can now look back and go, man, the person I was, I don't even recognize.
Exactly.
And that was years ago. This is going on 12 years now that I've probably been in cannabis space.
Wow.
And probably the last few years have I really been public, getting on national television and magazines and talking this story that I'm telling you right now to everybody. And that was what set it for me. That was like, I had a clear vision of what my career was going to be. Yeah. When I figured out, man, it's helping me, and this is what I need to be preaching to the world.
Absolutely.
And so it's just been that, man. It's been grinding that out, good and bad, ugly, all the hardships, all the business partners and the deals that never would happen, and never getting paid, and being told that I'm never gonna ever be anything with cannabis, and that just made me want to prove them wrong even more. That made me hit it harder, and it's led me to do some amazing things like Netflix and Food Network, and then in the last 5 months now, 5 months we've been
5 months now. Right?
The Clarendon Hotel reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, we see what you're doing out there, and we'd like to see if we can figure something out." And originally it was just dinners, and now it's turned into now we have a business together. And we have a private chef company, and then we're also doing the dinners on the rooftop.
Yeah, I saw that.
We have sponsorships from brands, and we're partnering with dispensaries. And
I love it. I love it.
It's been a wild ride because the thing is no one is doing this.
Yeah.
And no one is doing it at the level that we're trying to do it, and not just the cannabis food. I'll let Darren talk to more about this, but it's really about what we're trying to build the community around.
For sure.
At the Clarendon Hotel being the very first cannabis-friendly hotel to ever be in the United States.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing, and we're going to have an article in Thrillist that's coming out right now. Next week we're meeting with a guy that's going to put us in Forbes.
Nice.
Those are huge things.
Monumental.
People are seeing what we're doing, and they're understanding that's revolutionary. No one is doing. Yes, hotels have done cannabis events, but you can book a hotel from somewhere else in the world, hotel room at the Clarendon, and get a cannabis package.
Nice.
From Curaleaf dispensary, you can book a dinner with me, or a brunch, or an infused massage at the parlor downstairs.
Beautiful.
There's a whole package you can create, and no one's doing it.
Yeah. And
so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a community around that aspect of doing it right and setting the standard.
Yes.
And and it's been a wild ride. I don't even know how. It's been a wild ride.
I bet it's like a marathon of stuff going on, not only with what you're doing business wise, but also just like culturally, social media wise. There's all sorts. You're dealing it with all sorts of avenues. Now I want to switch gears and change it up to Darren over here. Darren,
no.
Listen, I know you're trying to be humble here, but at the end of the day, the hotel, the Clarendon, it's a beautiful hotel.
Thank you.
I have witnessed myself, just kind of as a community member. Different things come into it, and it developed over years. I will ask you this question: How did your partnership, and with Darren here? I'm sorry, I'm like getting all your names mixed up because it's Darren.
It's all good.
Derek here, like. First, tell me how you got to become a partner to the hotel, but give us, also how you came upon Derek over here.
I'll give you the condensed version.
Sure.
I worked a long time ago with my current business partner in a third-party management company, and I was a regional guy, and he was a hotel broker.
Gotcha.
And at one point, he said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to buy some hotels, and when I do, I'll reach out to you, and let's work together." And well, that call came, and it just happened to be the Clarendon Hotel that we purchased, and I'm the operating partner, and we own a company called Pro Hospitality Group.
Beautiful.
And our office is right across the street. So we've owned the hotel, I think I said, in 2019.
Yeah.
So in 2019, we had all sorts of grand ideas, and we would love to do some remodel of the rooms. We've been doing what we can do within our scope of work we've been able to do. And then, of course, COVID hit us last year.
Yes.
We were doing burlesque on the rooftop, and it just so happened that this young man was up there one day and...
not doing burlesque.
Not part of the show.
Not part of the show. Saying no burlesque for Chef Derek.
Not part of the show.
Clothes
but,
on.
my business partner called me in December and said, cannabis is about ready to go rec legal.
Yep.
Why don't we sort of switch gears a little bit and explore the option of becoming a cannabis-friendly hotel? And, there's no one to really go ask, how did you do this?
Yeah.
Or what do we do to do this?
Yeah.
And so I said, that's a jolly good idea. His name is Alex Risk. So we had a long conversation about this, and he said, well, why don't you just take it and see what we can do?
Yeah.
And so we had started the conversation internally amongst us all about how we go about doing this. And then we sort of met Derek. Opportunity sort of knocked, and we met him.
Yeah.
And then he went out of our life for a couple of weeks, and in the meantime we're like, wait, where is he again? Who's got his business card? We need to gather back and chat to him a little bit more. So I think we hit up on LinkedIn, didn't we?
Katrina reached out to me and sent me a message. Actually, she said that Alex called a meeting with me. My very first meeting wasn't even with Darren.
Oh.
It was with Big Boss Alex.
Oh.
And I was super intimidated, first of all, because I walked into this beautiful office they had.
Oh my goodness.
And this giant French-Canadian dude, and I'm just like, okay.
Does he have the accent?
Oh yeah.
So
Is it
hard.
thick?
Yeah.
And they're brothers. So there's me and there's three of these other fellows, and they're all intimidatingly tall with big French Canadian accents. So
I love it.
It's quite hilarious.
I love it because that to me is like, I love when they have accents. It's a fun thing.
Absolutely.
And they know.
And Alex, Alex is probably one of the smartest financial men I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
His brain is like a freaking MIT computer, man.
Yeah.
And it's intimidating in a way that makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
I want to learn that. I want to be at that level. He's so disciplined in his mind. It's like, it's undeniable, and being around these two, it makes me want to be better.
Oh, that's
they
awesome.
do.
Yeah.
They do. Like, because I feel like I come from a different culture, what I mean? I am fully tattooed and come from rock and roll and being on stage, and these guys are in suits, talk about finances all day. And although I can speak business because I do it, I really I can recognize when I have so much to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself is an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because that's knowledge you can't just learn in a book. That's real life experience. You know what I mean? And that's valuable to me.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it's been just a crazy ride with these guys. It's been scary at sometimes, but
overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Can I ask you both the question of kind of your personal lives and having your careers and having this culture of cannabis that's a little bit taboo now. It's becoming less and less taboo, but just on the cusp of it becoming normalized and being kind of the forefront of that. And being it a part of your personal lives too, because you are the business and the business is you. Where do you guys feel that pressure? Do you get comments or anything like that? Is there been less comments?
I think we feel the pressure. I mean, for me, I feel the pressure because, when these guys reached out to me, they knew nothing of the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Correct. Nothing.
I had to essentially go, here's Cannabis 101, and we've just been, and now they're at a point where they can just go because they see it now, they've done it, they've talked to the lawyers and all the legal and all, so they understand it. So I think the biggest part for me personally, it gets overwhelming because sometimes, and again, I deal with anxieties, and sometimes I bring those onto myself, but I'm one of those that's I see myself as if I screw this up, I have everybody else that I don't want to take down with me. And so that keeps me up at night.
Yeah, that responsibility.
Because not only was I running a business by myself, but these guys stepped in and said, "Here, let's scale it to this huge level.
Let's give you something more."
Yeah, and I've wanted that, but to actually be given that is a whole other scary level for me. And it was a responsibility I had to really talk to myself about. Can I actually do this?
And I think that's a level of that comes with time and putting the work into yourself. I think you're showing that.
But I think when you're around a bunch of, you're passionate with food and cannabis, and we're really passionate hotel guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got this things meshed together really well, and frankly, we will be, the only. There's cannabis hotels around the world, and there's a lot of people who are doing things with cannabis, but not on the level that we're going to take it to. Yeah. And so, we want to, we're cannabis friendly. We're going to set up, we're in the process of redefining 16 rooms, and we're going to go on a website called Bud and Breakfast.
Okay.
So you can find us on Bud and Breakfast in New York.
Yeah.
We're teaming up with a couple of dispensaries. Nice. Curaleaf will be in the rooms.
Okay.
Green Goods, they are with Holo, and they do the food infused portion of the cannabis.
Gotcha.
They're our sponsors.
So they're our sponsors.
All of our product.
Yeah.
So with Curaleaf, now we have the option to you can come from New York, you click on Curaleaf's link when you book your room.
Yeah.
Now you say, hey, I'd like this package at the hotel. Awesome. You come to the hotel, my team drive you over to Curaleaf, which is only 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
You pick up the package you've chosen for your stay, whether it's the party package, the relaxing package, the come and eat with Derek package. And now you come to a hotel where you can, in your room, partake in flower or really whatever you like to do, cannabis-wise, in your sleeping room. You'll be able to partake in the lounge. It's going to be open for that. And the rooftop where we'll be doing the dinners and we'll do educational seminars. So it's, it's a sort of a really big undertaking I think we've taken, but I don't know. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
I think the education has been the monumental point of everything we've done is every cannabis chef, and this is nothing against what they're doing out there, but the one thing that I know has set me apart on every national platform I've been on is I can talk about cannabis in a scientific way.
Oh man,
I can break it down to your endocannabinoid system and what that does and how that feeds your body and what that does for your blood pressure and your blood sugar and all of the things. And I think that is what's changing the game. And changing from stoner culture into cannabis culture is the education.
I'm going to ask you this question because it's a personal reason why. My mother just recently came out of the hospital with heart issues. And I have wanted, because for a long time she had pushed away the idea of, because cannabis to her is that culture of 100%. Taboo. I've been wanting her to reach out and just, educate and make sure that she knows, it's okay, because for her, the blood thinners and all the medication will cause her
all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And I just want to encourage her, if there's one piece of add-on that she could do, which is either THC or CBD, I want her to do that. Can you give her that?
What I think that she needs to know first is that the human body is designed with an endocannabinoid system that has a series of CB1 and CB2 receptors that are found along your organs, your brain, and your nervous system.
Yeah.
What that does is it regulates all of the chemical balances of your body.
Yeah.
So your blood sugar, your metabolism, your sleep cycle, your dopamine, your just everything, your mood.
Yeah.
So you have to feed your endocannabinoid system the proper cannabinoids that allow you to be in a homeostasis in your body.
Yeah.
Which that means is your body's functioning like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Everything is firing on all cylinders exactly how it should be. I think when you make that connection for her, because you can't, that's undeniable. The human body is designed for cannabinoids. Period.
I love that.
You get cannabinoids from a lot of things.
Okay.
You get terpenes from a lot of things.
Okay.
Like rosemary and thyme and herbs, fresh herbaceous herbs.
Nice.
All have terpenes in them.
Nice. Okay.
Right? So they do the same thing as cannabis terpenes. They stimulate the brain in such a way that you can actually trick the brain into thinking it has a ton of energy.
Yeah.
You can train the brain into thinking it's sleepy. That's why you have indicas. That's why you have sativas.
Yeah.
The terpenes determine what that is. So your terpene profile and your basis of terpenes, we'll get into in just a second, your limonene, pinene, those are your basis. Those are that piney, fresh, lemony citrus.
Gotcha.
You have different offshoots of that, but those are the basic mother terpenes for all cannabis, right? So I think that when you explain to her that the human body is made to receive these things in a healthy way, and cannabis is one healthy way, and I think that she needs to see cannabis in a food, in something that she could drink in her coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Not in a joint, a pipe, a bong. None of that.
Okay.
Because I think that is the difference. Because stoner culture has said smoking a joint and taking a bong is stoner culture and you're going to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Correct.
Reality is, it's not, but the image is.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll never see me put anything out on my social media. I'm never smoking. I smoke.
Yeah.
I smoke cannabis. But you're never going to see me a video just chiefing because I don't like the imagery it creates because it's not who I am as a chef.
Gotcha.
And it's not my image. It's not our brand now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that showing her where cannabis is now as opposed to when she was our age,
Sure.
I think is going to make a huge difference.
Got it.
And yes, if she needs something, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
I got anything you need. I can find it, get it, bring it to you. No worries.
Dude,
I will make it happen.
Honestly, I just want to go to an event to introduce you to her and like get her to like just eat a meal like that is introducing that level of like that stuff to her.
If you ever wanted me to come over here to your house and whip something up, dude, like
stop! You're making me.
You should just say yes to that.
Yes,
His
I will.
Food is amazing.
I will take you up on that because honestly, I want you to come swim with me. Like,
Yeah, man,
come swim with me, man. We're gonna hang out.
Yeah,
We'll do like a.
I would love to do that for your mom because I think not only I think that as a son that would probably make your heart happy.
Yes.
Because I know I can see it,
dude.
I already know.
Like
I know
it scares me. Like I just want her to feel.
I know.
Feel better.
I did the same thing for my mom, man. I get it. I have a nephew that's got epilepsy, and I make CBD oil for him. So I get that, dude. I get the. I've lived it.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
lived I need something to save me or I'm going to die.
Definitely. Thank you, man. Like honestly, because at the end of the day, like that's what we want for our loved ones, and that's essentially when she told me about it, I was like, just feel better. I just want you to feel better.
And the thing is, if she consumed cannabis rather than smoked it, it'd be good for her heart. It'd be good for her blood pressure. It wouldn't affect any of those types of things as well.
Okay.
I think ingesting it is probably the best thing for her.
Yeah.
Does she drink coffee in the morning?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can literally get stuff. We partnered, collabed with a brand called Sprinkle.
Ooh.
And it's literally water soluble nano THC technology.
Yeah.
That it's a powder and it dissolves into anything.
Oh my goodness! God, you're blowing my mind right now.
tasty.
Cakes.
How fun
drinks,
is this for
coffee.
you as like a hotel owner? They're like, what kind of things can I introduce to my hotel products? Ladies and gentlemen, walking through the door, beautiful wife, newborn, new mother.
Congratulations.
You have a beautiful baby. By the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Brittany Aceveda. But yeah, I mean, again, like I just, how fun is it just for you as an owner, like
It's
to
a
see
trip.
all these new stuff? Because you were probably someone who were like, I seen it back in the day. They had bongs, all this stuff, smoking, whatever. But it's like to see it evolve into this.
Well, you know, I've always been for it. I've never been. I'm not a cannabis user. When I was a kid, I was. You know, in my 20s, maybe. You know, teens.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, since I've met this chap, we've had a couple of interesting evenings, right?
Just infuse things. Like,
you know, it's funny because when you start to hear Derek talk about, you know, cannabis and the passion he gives you with cannabis,
Yeah.
and then you tie everything together with now all of the education that we're getting on cannabis, and you start to learn what it really does and can do for the human body, and you just, we feel compelled to help change the way that people think about it.
Yeah.
And what a better way to do it. A hotel with food.
Absolutely.
It's like, wow.
Well, you're creating a safe space of all the
Safe
things.
space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave. You
Exactly.
can sleep there and have a great meal with great people that know what they're doing. You can be educated.
Yeah.
You can ask questions.
Yes.
It isn't, here's an edible, good luck.
And interestingly enough,
You know?
and interestingly enough, because I find myself now talking to people about this, like, well, you do a 6-course meal. Why, you just get baked? And it's like, wait, no.
No.
No, it's not like that. You do a 6-course meal, you can choose not to have any infusion.
Yeah.
You can choose to microdose. You can say, hey, Chef Derek, I've got a stomach of steel. Give me a triple dose in every
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
So you have the option to do as you see fit through the meal.
Yeah.
And you get to learn about how the terpenes, like, these are all new words for me. But once you start to taste them and you learn how to do that, because it is essentially a learning. I mean, we are teaching people. Chef Derek is teaching people
Yeah.
how this works. We just had Adam Pollock down here from Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so we had,
Yes.
we're doing a series, if I can plug our series, our
Please,
Hell's
please
Kitchen
do.
cooking series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people are wanting to learn how to infuse from Chef Derek, and it's magical.
Yeah.
I think it's
All these Hell's Kitchen chefs they love cannabis, but they
Awesome.
don't cook with it. And so I happened to just meet somebody that was on current season, and he's like, we should collab. And it turned into now we got 13 chefs
Yes.
from Hell's Kitchen 19
Yes.
that want to do a series with us
Yes.
Beautiful.
and educate on cannabis. And because they see what we're doing, they realize, okay, whatever he's doing is going to make huge waves.
Gangbusters.
Well, because, again, like, we're going to be the first of its kind.
and you know, it's funny. We're just getting so many people, I'm going to say, knocking down our doors to discuss this and find out how they can
be a part of
involved,
it
be a
and
part
try
of
to
it.
Yeah.
You know,
take their piece is what it is, some of them, you know. We've also had, you know, I guess it's a form of flattery. We've already had other cannabis chefs
Yeah.
have been doing dinners,
Yeah.
very eerily named what we're doing. The
Oh,
Elevated on the
no.
Stars series.
Yeah.
So we own that. We've trademarked it. We've bought and all that
Oh,
now.
okay.
But we've had other people like Elevated under this and Elevated. I'm like, and they didn't do it. They didn't
Yeah.
start doing it until
Yeah.
after we announced our partnership publicly.
Okay.
So it's like I see people already trying to get on that train.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's flattery because every time I do
100%.
something in cannabis, I see other people starting to do it.
Absolutely.
100%.
You know?
I think you
Yeah.
guys have something very special
Yeah.
going on here. As far as a combination team too, it's like
Well, I
to
think
have
timing.
Yeah.
Timing has been like I hit Netflix and I all of a sudden my business just like exploded for Private Chef.
Mm-hmm.
I meet these guys, or no, I did
Food Network series.
did Food Network, and then our very first event together was the 420 drop of the Food Network episode on the rooftop. We had like 300 people RSVP, and
Nice.
you know, I think the timing of everything, our perspective lives just kind of came together
Beautiful.
in a way that was just like
Magic.
it happened.
Magic.
Yeah, it's weird how the door has opened and everything sort of has synced. It is syncing together quite well. It's
Absolutely.
remarkable. And, you know, we want to, you know, we're seeing this really grand. I mean, we're already starting to explore the idea of cooking for, you know, people in Nevada and California. And we're now, you know, we'll beta test this hotel. And how wonderful would it be if we could flag this and do cannabis friendly in rec states around the country? It would be sort of magical.
They own 6 hotels now, and if we can prove concept here, we'll probably at least do another 4.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, at least, you know.
And I think that's something that's really, it becomes now you're already becoming, like you said, the safe space, the space that where you can host the events and stay. And you can,
of course.
like, honestly.
And I think, like, for us, and I think we're all sort of on the same, we are on the same page with the educational piece of this, and leaving the stoner culture behind. You know, you've got to think that, don't quote me on the numbers, but I think medical was 350,000. Now we've opened it up to the state where we're hitting millions of people.
Yeah.
So now you've got all of these. We're starting to see doctors and lawyers, and you know, it's like, okay, wow, you know,
pro athletes,
for sure.
So for us, it's like, wait, everyone's starting to go, oh, wait, we can actually talk about this.
I think it's really at the like the filling point, the tipping point where this has become now a nationwide thing, where you start to hear rumblings
slowly.
You know, start to hear rumblings,
and I think it'll be a beautiful day when it is federally acceptable, and maybe cross-border stuff. I mean, who knows when and where, or if that will happen, but I'm pretty optimistic that maybe it's coming.
Same here.
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a slow road. I think there's a lot of gray area of legals that hasn't been explored yet and written out. And like what we're doing is legal, but isn't yet written into the law.
Yeah, there's no...
Because what we're doing is we're working under dispensaries.
Okay.
So we're working... And then dispensary license in Arizona is like $18.5 million. So we're working under a dispensary license that basically allows us to give other people cannabis for free while I feed them food.
Yes.
Makes sense. Essentially how it works.
Makes sense,
because I can't charge you for the cannabis, but I can give it to you.
Got it.
But I can charge you for food.
Yes.
So and that's where the legalities, at least for our lawyers, really sat, was like the transfer of money.
Gotcha.
So trying to figure this out has been wild, but at the same time, once we figured it out, it was like, oh
yeah.
Now
I was going to ask you that.
Well, and I think
once that.
I think once it sort of the penny dropped with how we need to do it legitimately, you know, it was a symbiotic relationship. Then we found the right people to partner with.
Yeah.
And it all sort of just flows now, and it's very easy and stress-free, and it's really a lot of work. Relatively stress-free at this point. But there's a lot of work. I mean, we're only just now sort of opening the floodgates to what we are probably going to experience here in the next, I'd say, as soon as 2 to 3 months. But
I mean, we just got a PR agent that's going to be, because I'm technically the face of Elevations,
which
is our company, right? But, I mean, because from a culinary chef perspective, somebody has to be that, and I've already built my name on that, and so it only made sense that I continued to be in the forefront. But I think that now that we have the PR agent who I've worked with before, Sherry Butler, she's amazing. She's got us. She's going to be getting us into TV, magazine, doing interviews, cooking on television, and talking about what we're doing. And I think those things are going to get the Darren Brothertons of the world and of Phoenix that aren't necessarily cannabis culture, but like cannabis. Those are the people we're trying to target.
Gotcha.
Not just cannabis users, because they're already there. We're talking about the people that love it but didn't know any of this existed.
Yeah, and didn't have it.
Well, you know, we've all been, it's like, wait, it's been super illegal for this whole time. Like, you know, Katrina Wiggers, who's my left and right hand person, right? She is our, what is she to us? Our sales, she's everything, right? The glue.
She's Mama Bear.
She's Mama Bear, right? When we first started talking about this in December, she's like, oh, hell no. Right? And then January comes along, and then she starts to meet Derek, and then she's like, she comes up to me probably mid-March and says, oh, man, I'm totally into this. This is the best thing this hotel could possibly do.
Yeah.
You know, we come full circle, all of us, because we all lived in that, oh, my God, you've got a joint. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So the mindset, you know, of us has to change. And I think that's the fun of this, because you know you now go, wait, we're a cannabis friendly hotel. I'm Australian, so my mum's like, wait, that's a gateway drug, son, in Australia. You know, mum, it's not. It's gonna be okay, mum. It's cannabis. It's
promise,
mum. It's gonna be okay.
I promise, you know? Mom. No one's getting hurt.
So it's I don't know. It's a really exciting stage of our career, I think, and where it can go.
I concur with you both. Like, I think that's something that I've just been I've been floored to get to meet more of the cannabis culture, because when we first started this, I wanted to promote that, because we had met a couple of farmers, we had met a couple of guys trying to start their own business in the cannabis. I had a buddy of mine did ice cream, cream, and then he moved out to Oklahoma to go, because Oklahoma had started theirs, and so he wanted to open up his own place over there. And it's like, I would love to meet more like yourself, like the guys who want to take this to the next level and take this to a different level than it was before.
Because I think we can't move forward with the cannabis industry and make it mainstream unless there is change.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that change is the education. Okay. Because that has been lacking for the last 50 years.
Yes.
No one, barely anybody.
Yeah.
Unless you were a scientist and you were studying it, nobody in the real world knew anything about the endocannabinoid system, or what terpenes do, or any of that, or what decarboxylation is, and changing THCA into THC, and all of that. None of that was mainstream. And so I think what we're doing is we are the change the industry needs to be.
Yeah.
Because we're living it every day. And sure. I think that's the only way we're going to change it, is by living it.
Yeah.
And just doing it.
Yeah.
Well, and also we're sort of legit business people.
Yes.
So now we bring this, it's weird to say, but we sort of bring this legitimacy to it a little bit, I think. And I don't know, I think we're able to help in our own little way. And I think our partnership is going to, I don't know, I think it's going to be a wonderful thing.
Well, it's crazy. Sorry, Jesus.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, it's more business.
More business, more people.
The crazy thing is, it's like, in a way, not even in a way, in reality, I needed Darren and what he could provide.
Mm-hmm.
Just tip business sense, not anything. I needed that step up, because I had the dispensaries, the brands, the people, all the people that wanted to work with me, all of that.
The network was there.
The network was there, but I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I had no place to put it.
Yeah.
Because I was one person. I scaled my business from $0 to $100,000 in 6 months by myself. $85,000. We'll call it $100,000 because it sounds great. No,
I like the round zeros.
Yeah,
I think so. I agree.
But what I got to a point where I scaled it so fast that it got bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep up to my own
Gotcha.
business. And then they stepped up, and it was like, now we have a team of people. Now we have a venue.
Wait, I will say that we did get a team of people.
Yeah.
It really did arrive all at what?
Well, I told him, I was like, look, if we do this for real, it's going to move fast, quick, and in a hurry.
Yep.
Because I was like, I have everybody plugged in already.
Yeah.
And
they're ready to go.
Yeah,
Everyone was ready to go.
Blink, blink, blink. We need website guy. We need SEO. We need PR. We need brands. We need dispensaries.
Yeah, our website goes live tomorrow, probably.
Yeah. Oh, he's the one who's messaging me right now.
I need this information.
Yeah. It's happened so fast, and we got an LLC, and it just became a thing, and now it's like. Now we're in it.
Yeah, now you're in the thick of it.
This thing.
I look forward to just kind of staying in contact with you, just to kind of see where it goes, because for us, this is what it's always been about, this kind of energy and the business behind it as well. I wanted them to converge, because to me, everyone deserves this conversation, this type of conversation where you have education being distilled out, but also you're also understanding your community, your like the hotel around you, the culture of chefs, the culture of food. You have all of these conversations going separate. I always believed that they deserved a space together where that can be, had.
Well, so many people were conditioned to never have that conversation in the same space.
Yeah, of course.
And I, my entire career, even before cooking, I have always been, no pun intended, marching to the beat of my own drum. You know what I mean? I've always done my own thing.
Yeah.
Always with the mindset of doing it the right way.
Yeah.
I always want to do it right. I don't ever want to do it wrong just to do it.
Yeah.
But things like this, it's like no one thought we could do this. Everyone thought that I would never be on TV for cannabis. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
You know what I mean? Hold my beer.
Watch this.
Watch me do it.
I love it.
And I did it several times over. And I think that that's going to happen here, because he doesn't like to lose. Alex, Big Boss, does not like to lose, and that's why he's the top 5 real estate broker in the country.
Hotel brokers.
Hotel broker, sorry.
brokers.
Hotel broker in the country. Details. Yeah, he'll yell at me if I say it wrong. But I think that type of mindset is why this works.
Absolutely.
Because we know what it takes. They know it's not going to just, okay, overnight we're going to make money. It's like, no, we're trying to do this at a whole other level, and it's never been done before.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some grease and some elbow grease and some hard work. And quite frankly, it's going to take some investment.
Yeah.
In marketing more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's going to come down to is we need the people to see and understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
When the masses see what we're doing, it's going to be a no-brainer.
Can I ask you, because now I want to just kind of get into the fun stuff of your cooking and stuff like that. What was your very first scrumptious oh man, I did it. I finally I unlocked the cheat code right now.
I made a butter cake.
Okay.
I was actually you met Justin. Mm-hmm. Justin I told you he was there with me since day one when I was really kind of coming up publicly. And really confident in cooking for people on a public level. Yeah. I made a butter cake with a mixed berry compote and fresh cream. Oh. We were just messing around, and that was the night that Justin, he calls me and he on his way home and he's like, Derek, I feel like I'm driving a spaceship right now. He's like, that cake just kicked in and I'm feeling it.
And he's at a stoplight.
By the time he got home, he said he felt like he was just holding on. Like he was just trying to hold on to the car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think that was the first night. It was so funny. He's like, I felt the car was driving itself. I was just holding on. And I was like, bro, that's not good.
That's funny.
But he goes, I think you nailed it.
Perfect. Don't change a thing.
I think that was the first moment I was like, okay, now I know what to do. Now we need to hone it in.
Yeah.
What we do now is I don't blast everybody with a bunch of THC.
Yeah.
I microdose everything.
Sure.
Everything is controlled per plating. So if you don't want the cannabis in your food, you can still enjoy the food that you're paying for.
Yeah.
And still enjoy the evening and your friends and everybody else without getting crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think the microdose, again, it's not about getting high.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about, how high can I get somebody?
Yeah.
It's about showcasing and educating through food and microdosing. And I think more people need to understand that when you microdose daily, it's a mood stabilizer.
Yeah.
You're not getting blasted. You are stabilizing your mood and functioning. Mm-hmm. I am a crazy functioning cannabis user.
Yeah.
I could use cannabis all day long and I keep going.
Seth Rogen.
But I microdose.
I read his article. I mean, he was legitimately honest about it. He's like, I remember the guy asked, I was like, how many joints did you bring with you to the interview for this his online interview today? Yeah. He's like 10. Usually normal shoots I bring 10. And it was like, that's a daily, that's someone who does it daily.
Yeah.
Knows how long he's gonna do stuff and what he needs. So
it's people take their medication in the morning for their depression or anxiety.
Absolutely.
People come home after work to have a drink or a beer or a glass of wine. I look at it as the same exact way.
You know what I noticed too? I've met a couple of cannabis users that it helps them concentrate because if they're rolling, they have something to help their minds, stay focused on a task.
Honestly, it helps me focus just in daily life.
Yeah.
I have ADD, and so I am always, I'm a squirrel, man. I'm I'm always over, I smoke and it's
focused in.
Focused.
Yeah. Because
what happens for me, at least, I'm already in the stars.
Yeah.
I'm ADD. I'm a dreamer, man. I have big dreams and goals, and if so, cannabis goes whoop, and creates that ceiling.
Yeah,
it brings me back to a little bit of reality where I can focus and be a little self-reflective of self-aware, really, of myself in that moment. And so, not everybody affects that way.
Yeah.
So that's why, no matter what, if you're going to get into cannabis, you need to do some research for yourself and some trial and error for yourself so you know where you're at with that cannabis.
Yep.
Because I can't tell that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different. Yep.
100%.
I have loved this conversation with you guys. I think we're kind of wrapping up and reaching towards the end here. I could talk to you guys for a very long time, and
we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a part 2. One, I would love to just ask you guys personally, like just one personal question. What is one of your favorite dishes that you've created for your events? And what has been your favorite dish to have of his?
Of course.
Oh, man.
Well, okay, I'm going to answer that first.
Yeah, I already know.
Okay.
Which one?
It's the gnocchi.
Oh, the gnocchi?
So,
the gnocchi?
Oh. Look, I've got to be honest. Everything he cooked so far has been absolutely stellar.
Yeah.
But we did a Japanese Wagyu dinner the other night that was probably the most righteous meal on the face of the planet. But I still go back to your gnocchi. Yeah. That deep fried gnocchi, and believe you me, it's just 2 little gnocchis on the plate, right? But the flavor profile of those suckers is magic.
Yeah, it's the purple Peruvian sweet potato gnocchi.
Yeah.
Right? And then I deep fried it so you get that really crispy
outside.
Oh my
gosh.
And that French fried softness on the inside. And then we did a fermented honey.
Oh my God, so honey. You could drink the honey. Drink the honey.
It smells like old school, like mead.
Yeah.
Like that honey mead they talk about in old books.
Yeah.
It had that, because, you ferment it with yeast and sugar and heat it and spices and...
But everything that has come off the plate into my mouth since I've known Chef Derek has been magic. There isn't one thing, and I would say that you would think that you were going to taste cannabis.
Yeah.
It only enhances the food, and you don't taste the cannabis. It's it's a magical thing. It's the only way I can describe it.
I need to ask you one thing. What is your, what is the thing, midnight rolls around and you can want to do an infused thing? Is there a grilled cheese sandwich or something that you like to
a snack?
A quick snack. Yeah.
Oh man, honestly, there probably isn't one food that I go to. Okay. I'm a chef, so I go.
Of course.
What do I got?
Yeah.
Let's create. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's a lot of that in the moment.
Yeah.
However, if I have any leftover food that I made, like a recipe of my mom's, that's going to be my go-to.
Gotcha.
That comfort food from my mom will probably trump any menu ever you could throw in front of me.
Nice.
Because of the memories and the emotions attached to those flavors that I have.
Very cool.
Because I taste that and I go, damn, I remember when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember this. I remember that. You know what I mean? There's foods I eat. I remember my mom singing to me.
Aww.
You know what I mean? There's those things. So I think those are, for me, the go-to for every day. You know? Because at night, at midnight, that's my time. I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
So that's my me time. That's my reflective time. That's, my going down memory lane with some food time, so that's probably
for sure.
That's probably any leftover mom food for
Got
sure.
It. Thank you guys. Thank you again for making this so much fun and just very easy to digest, and no pun intended. Yeah. So again, towards the end, I give it to the guests to kind of introduce where they can find online, their social media handles, all the website stuff. That's your go-to. So I'm going to kick it off to Derek over here. Derek, go ahead and then let them know any events that you want to, shout out and promote. Go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Brands too.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to, come to a dinner or come to an event, you can reach out to me, chefderekaz.com. You could go to the goclarendon.com and hit the elevations tab.
Nice.
Here in the next 48 hours, you'll be able to go to elevationswith3s's.com. And that will be our official business website for all of our elevations events. And then if you're looking to get into something soon, we have Night Tree, which is our nighttime brunch event on the rooftop with Canatainment Events. That's canatainment_events.com or canatainmentevents.com. And you can check out all of that, get tickets as well. So all of those sites you can get us.
Awesome. Thank you again. I just really want to say bringing together both of you and having you both here just really elevated it.
I like it.
Like really
I
did.
see what you did there.
Thank
Well
you very much.
played,
Thank you
man.
very much. Before you go, ladies and gentlemen, before you jump off the stream, you can hear every episode of our podcast at findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for you guys to connect with us, so let us know who you want in next. If there's someone in the Kansas world, someone in the hotel world, sorry guys, I got to bring in everyone. You go ahead, send us a line over at Finding Arizona Podcast. And last but not least, we say goodnight to both Derek and Darren here. Thank you
Love
both
you guys.
for coming in.
Thank you very
I really
much.
appreciate it.
Come visit us.
Booyah, yeah. Sign up, get into it. I hope to hear from Derek again. You will see
Absolutely.
me at probably one of Derek's events eating